Hey, what's up, guys? We got ourselves some more drama regarding MrBeast. I know it never ends. It never ends. Dogpack 404 has gone pretty quiet, meaning he hasn't released any more videos on MrBeast. But that does not mean that the drama is over just because Dogpack hasn't really released any videos and MrBeast still has yet to respond to all the allegations, because we now have a new update article here from Dexerto. Vegas Beast Game staff want MrBeast blacklisted over health and safety concerns. So basically what happened was one of the local news networks in Las Vegas was able to catch up with and interview some of the contestants or people who are part of MrBeast Beast Game show, which I think is supposed to be taking place on Amazon Prime. Now, for those who don't know, they've been filming this show for a while. Like, they started filming this back in like March of this year. The show still hasn't come out yet, but I guess later this year or sometime next year, it's supposed to come out. Let's go ahead and just read some of the article here. So, says here, MrBeast TV show staff outraged over major OSHA violations on set. He thinks this is a game. And then if we just go ahead and read the article, there's some disgusting and terrible things mentioned, but we'll get to that. Says here, in the wake of a class action lawsuit resulting from the game show, that's right, MrBeast is facing a class action lawsuit due to the way he handled the game show and the contestants getting injured and being subjected to terrible conditions, just all this crazy stuff that you wouldn't expect from the supposed golden boy of YouTube, right? But it says here, in the wake of the class action lawsuit resulting from the collaboration between MrBeast and Amazon Prime, staff members are now sharing, I said contestants. Staff members are the ones that were interviewed. So the article clarifies that staff members are sharing details of what they claim to be the most unprofessional and unprepared production they've ever been a part of. Says here, episode 0 Beast Games, the reality show produced by Jimmy MrBeast Donaldson for Prime TV, was set to launch in Las Vegas, where 2,000 contestants were hosted between July 18th and July 21st as they competed for the 1,000 spots to advance to what's being billed as the largest reality TV show ever. News 3 spoke to nearly 24 staff members they were able to interview, who revealed details of the production's unabated chaos and the safety concerns that quickly surfaced. Several employees pointed to a lack of professional planning. One contestant, Rick, said, I think the biggest part of that was the communication was terrible. Another contestant, contestant Wrangler. So these are employees. Another contestant Wrangler, Hannah, claimed call sheets that inform production workers of the schedule and who to contact for what were not available. I felt so unprofessional, said Hannah, whose job was to direct contestants and answer questions she often couldn't find an answer to. Mona, one of the medics, was told by producers that Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast, doesn't believe in schedules and instead does it when he feels like he's ready. Another contestant Wrangler, Kara, described an unpleasant consequence of the massive events board planning. We had a guy come up to us with his sleeping bag, and his sleeping bag was covered in excrement. Absolutely disgusting. Says here, there are about a dozen portable restrooms in the stadium field where all 2,000 contestants were confined during the day and rested in their show-provided sleeping bags. The contestant with the excrement-covered bag had slept near one of the portable restrooms. So that porta potty obviously overflowed, Kara said, adding she never saw the portable restrooms emptied in the course of the production. A contestant Wrangler was ordered by a MrBeast producer to either clean up the mess or face termination. So basically, one of the workers for the MrBeast games was told by a producer, hey, if you don't want to get fired, we want you to clean up the excrement in the sleeping bag or you're fired. That's what happened. Says here, the OSHA required training and necessary equipment to deal with human waste were not provided to the employee or seemingly any employees. That's a major OSHA violation, Kara said. Medics on the go hired to handle medications for the production also suffered logistical issues that undermined participant safety. Contestants were forbidden from bringing belongings into the stadium and turned in all possessions to production staff upon entry, including medications. Mona, one medic working on the production, said it was unusual to be tasked with distributing this much medication. Some medications were lost or unaccounted for. Their stuff was supposed to be turned into us and never was. Mona's team kept a detailed inventory, and despite never receiving some contestants' medications, the inventory count ended up roughly twice what it was originally planned at. Many contestants were informed by production that they could store lotion, Bibles, protein powder, clothes, makeup, and food with the pharmacy. There was no communications. Everything was on the fly, said Mona. So basically, as much as MrBeast comes off as he's this genius, he's brilliant, he's very good at putting together these gigantic game shows, everything's organized, it turns out that when you pull back the curtain, he's actually not professional at all. He's not good at running these types of game shows. He honestly would have been better off saying, hey, I'll handle the entertainment part. You, Amazon, you hire everybody, and you all handle the logistical part. You all handle the bathrooms and the medicines and making sure everybody's okay and making sure we got enough staff to handle everybody's needs. Instead, it looks like Amazon just kind of said, hey, we're going to put your show on our platform and you handle the rest. Turned out to be an absolute disaster. So now it says on the first night, medics worried that contestants weren't coming to the pharmacy at the times prescription labels advised, said April, one of the medics. She said the medics were forbidden from being on set at any time because they did not want to ruin the atmosphere. So a group of medics borrowed the black costumes donned by contestants to sneak onto the stadium field and announced that the pharmacy was open around the clock to serve the contestants. As contestants were eliminated and attempted to collect the spare undergarments they had turned in prior to filming, Kara said contestant wranglers were responsible for returning them. However, they weren't given a list of which contestants needed their items. Kara said the task was a surprise and she spent 12 hours organizing the undergarments. When we found out that we were going to have to deal with this and there was no system in place, it was a nightmare. There were just so many things that I was looking at thinking to myself, wow, there's an easier way to do this, said Kara. However, that would have required forethought and preparation from the producers. Then it says here the game show is set to air later this year, but is already facing a class action lawsuit filed in California. Alleged contestants were coerced into illegal work conditions that negatively impacted their physical and emotional health. Makes perfect sense to me. MrBeast absolutely deserves to be sued for this, and hopefully they win their lawsuit. I mean, it sounds like some of the things they went through was awful, and it's all because MrBeast, just for whatever reason, wasn't organized. Then let's see what else it says. Okay, so it looks like that's pretty much the end of the article. So yeah, folks, that is the latest update regarding MrBeast, and, you know, this is absolutely insane. How do you decide to do a game show and you have this many mishaps? You know, I can understand one or two. I can understand, you know, maybe one thing going wrong or two things going wrong, but it looks like throughout the entire set, throughout the entire filming of the show, there were just issues upon issues pretty much every single day while they were filming this show. And it caused emotional and physical harm to many of the contestants. And MrBeast has nobody to blame but himself, because when you wear the big boy pants, you decide you're going to host these crazy big game shows that have all these people involved. Well, you better have all your ducks in order, have all your ducks in line here, because if not, people could get hurt. And as we could see, people did get hurt, both physically and emotionally. And that is what has led to this lawsuit. And now you have some of the former staffers who are basically saying that they think that he should be blacklisted, and they wouldn't be surprised if he got blacklisted. For those who don't know what that means, I'm sure everybody knows what that means. For those who don't know what that means, is basically blacklisting is this silent list where, you know, people in power basically say, hey, we're no longer doing business with this guy. We're not going to make it public or say it, but between all of us, this guy's blacklisted. All the major players in this space do not hire this guy or work with this guy in any capacity. We don't want to work with him because of yada, yada, yada. In this case, he's extremely unprofessional, doesn't know what he's doing. So the former employees are calling that to get blacklisted. Absolutely insane. But yeah, anyway, that's today's drama. That is the latest update regarding MrBeast. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.